And many in the faith community stand to gain from such a voucher initiative because you have these schools. But the word that I read said that there's a balm in Gilead for all, not just for a few. The prophetic message that I read was not just for the Jews, but for the Gentiles also. So we can't change our way. We've got to make a commitment to represent all. Make a commitment to rebound. Make a commitment to work from a lens of opportunity, not fear. And we're going to find out who's for kids and who's just kidding. Because there are some elected officials who are just kidding. You should only support those who are for kids, and those that are for kids will have a comprehensive plan for all students. And thirdly, I will say that one of the things that we have to do is something that a little boy taught his father. His father was reading him a bedtime story, and he kissed his son on his head and said, "Good night, son." His son said, "Daddy, can you bring me a glass of water?" The father said, "Son, I just read you a bedtime story. It's your bedtime. You had all day to get water. Please go to bed." Daddy gets back up, begins to walk away. Son says, "Daddy, can you bring me a glass of water?" Father, a little more perturbed this time, said, "Son, you had all day. I just read you the story. It's bedtime. I'm a little perturbed. If I have to come back in here, I'm going to have to give you a spanking." Father gets up, walks out the door, closes the door. He hears his son, "Daddy, when you come back in here to spank me, can you bring me a glass of water?" There's a level of persistence that we're going to have if we really want this to come to fruition. Many of us are working through this as if it's a task where we can predict the cost. But this is an assignment during this season. I can't tell us why we were born during this season, but I can tell you that we're the generation that was given this assignment. And there's a difference between a task and an assignment. Dating is a task. Marriage is an assignment. You got it? A task, you can predict the cost, the end. The assignment, you can't. And many of us are existing in a space that it may mean that, and we exist in this space because of individuals who came before us who gave their lives and livelihoods so that we could be here today. They accepted their assignment. And our assignment and our challenge may not fall at the hands of an assassin's bullet, but it may mean that we may have to spend an extra hour in the office, an extra hour working with a kid, an extra hour working with someone who, by the very nature of working with them, takes a few years off of our lives. And if you don't know that person, that's probably you. The thing that we need, the only question that remains is the rhetorical question that Shakespeare spoke through the mouth of Hamlet: to be or not to be. Whether it's nobler for our children to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous misfortunes, or for us to pick up arms against a sea of troubles and through direct opposition end them. To be or not to be, that is the question. And we don't need a lot of intellectual capacity to answer that question. How do I know? Because long before Harvard, long before law school, I remember when I was in 4th grade, and the school wanted to kick me out. And they looked at my record. I had been suspended and all the rest. And I remember there was an old woman who came to that school. She didn't have a PhD. She didn't have a doctorate. She wasn't a CEO. She said, "You will not kick him out, but you will educate him. You will not kick him out, but you will educate him." But I said, and I stepped up and said, "But Granny, look at my record." She said, "Stand back, son. You will not kick him out, but you will educate him." And I thought that she was just a fool. But I thank God for that foolish lady. But I think all we need are people who are foolish enough right now to believe that all students can learn, because they can. And if you don't feel what you have what you need to move that forward. I want you to just think about a smaller insect, the bumblebee. Why the bumblebee? Because if you calculate the weight times the wingspan of the bumblebee, according to the laws of physics, the bumblebee should be incapable of flight. The problem is somebody forgot to tell the bumblebee. So the bumblebee flies, recognizing that it can do anything. It can do the impossible. So when I got here, yes, I was a little tired. But as I look out here and I see all of this capacity, I'm here to tell you I don't feel no ways tired, because we've come too far from where we started from. Nobody told us that the road would be easy, but I don't believe we've been brought this far to leave it. Are you foolish enough, Pittsburgh, to believe that all students can learn? Are you foolish enough to fight for all students' education? Are you foolish enough to believe that you can provide all students a high-quality education and an opportunity to learn? The nation is waiting, but more important, the children